home, to allowing my children to get burned under ACS's care, the foster mother's care. They have terminated my rights. They gave me 2 children. They separated the case. Once the judge heard I was going to appeal, she left the case open for the boys. The boys were with me, ages 9 and 8, from the time of May 8 of 2009. They returned to me in bad conditions. They had mental issues. They came back with dental hygiene totally ruined. The ACS has violated all my rights. They said my mom would hurt my children, and my mom had a multiple stroke. My mother passed away in April, and they continue to violate my rights, even with false allegations. This last time they came and took the boys with false allegations. They used pictures of another day, and they took the children abruptly. The cops dragged the boys. The boys were hysterical, ran into the building. They keep traumatizing the children and putting me through a storm. I was evicted. I lost my dog. It's been a nightmare. They left me with $15,000 in arrears. They have violated all my civil rights, all my parental rights. I can't see my 2 younger children. They have been in care with this woman that I met in 2008. She lied on the oath. The judge, Jody Adams, tried to help her so that she can continue to keep my kids under her care and adopt my children. As a mother, I am asking for people to come and give us support. This is FPA Foundation. We're all here because we've been affected by the ACS system, and they're totally violating all our rights, doing false allegations, stealing documents, doing all kind of things because they're getting paid when these children are up for adoption. How is it that I can be a mother for 2 and not my other 2 children? They're totally violating people's rights. There's parents, foster parents, getting affected by this, and no one is putting their foot down, so they feel they got the upper hand and they can do these things, even trying to cover up all their actions, all the injuries, all the things that's happened under foster care system. This is a serious matter, and we have to become bold and fight for the rights of our children and our families. We need your support, City Council. We need advocates for our families because our children are suffering in foster care. They're getting taken away, they're not being treated in the proper manner, and no one is doing nothing about it. And I'm asking, why is people having city councils if we don't have no backup? We have no one that speaks and vouches for us. So we are coming here today to ask you to do something about it and imagine if it was your family, your children, your aunts and mothers and sisters getting violated by the system. No one is putting their foot down to this situation. It's a serious matter. People in communities are getting affected every single day. Every single day they're taking children and doing whatever they want with them in the system. The children have gone through so many experiences. My son was burned by the foster mother. They still allowed her to keep my children, and they're letting her adopt my children illegally. I deal with Catholic Guardian. Catholic Guardian has violated all my parental rights. They have done all kind of things to keep things under control so that they can keep these kids in foster care. They stole the complete file of my home because I had everything documented. I had dates, I had the burn mark pictures, I had every kind of issue that they have allowed to happen to my children. They have ruined my reputation as a person and as a parent. So I'm asking all of you in council to come and help us, to do what you're supposed to do, the job that you're getting paid to do. This is a serious matter, and I don't see my children. I haven't seen them in 2 years. This is a violation of my rights because I did everything they asked me to do. No one is doing nothing to help. So I'm asking you all to join us in forces to reprimand ACS because nobody's watching what they're doing to people illegally.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Go ahead. I hold your son.
No, she needs to eat her son. Her son has to go on the front. For you.
Hello, my name is Lorraine, and I started this journey when ACS came and removed five of my 6 grandchildren who have been in my care for over 4 years. Now let me tell you, this could be you, it could be anybody. I've been in the human services industry for over 45 years and currently still work in the human services industry. I've taken all types of training to be able to provide the best care. In addition, I'm a mother of 2 and the grandmother of the 6. I've been in divorce. I've been dragged through the court system since September 15, 2011. I had one of what they call one of the best attorneys fighting against the children's attorney, which never advocated for the reunification of my family. I think I've experienced every emotion imaginable, even some that hasn't been said yet, because I've seen them lie under oath. I've seen them falsify documents. I've seen them remove documents and scribble out sentences. Now, prior to the removal, we were 3 weeks away from me being the adoptive resource. We were in the final stages of adoption. St. Vincent Services was a big part of it. That was the agency that my grandchildren were in. They removed my children wrongfully. The option of reunification with me was never explored. They never substantiated the allegations. No criminal charges were ever brought against me, but yet they finagled through the system. They lied to the judge. They're all in a clique. If one decides that, oh, you're advocating for your children, who do you think you are? Let me show you who we are. And they'll step on you. They'll lie on you. They'll criminalize you. Falsify documents. Take your children and do as they please. They need to be stopped. There is no justifiable reason why my children were removed. There is no justifiable reason why my children were not returned to my care. How is it that there are 6 children and only 5 out of the 6 is in imminent danger? If one is in imminent danger, they're all in imminent danger. Okay? So how can you remove 5 and say that they're in imminent danger and they leave 1? Now, since their removal from my home, they've allowed all of my children who have special needs to disappear and not know where they are. Allow one of the children that has special needs to get a hold to a razor and be able to cut his hair and cut himself. One of the children was brought to a visit with a flesh-eating disease all over her skin that was never justified. And when I complain about things, they would sweep it under the rug. They would act like I was wrong because my children came in with clothes 3 sizes too small. All of this is sanctioned by the Administration for Children's Services. My children will come to every visit hungry. I had to provide food for them. They're in care. Why are they not being properly taken care of? They take a child and put them in a home where they're not allowed to celebrate birthdays, they're not allowed to celebrate holidays. How is that? When you have family members that were willing to take them, and that's the first option. If you decide that my home is too dangerous for them to be in, which you never substantiated, how is it that you didn't explore family members that came forward and asked to adopt the children or asked to care for the children while this investigation was going on? None of that was done. All of their rights were violated. This has to stop. They walk into your home and just do whatever they want to do because nobody's policing the police. Who's watching ACS? Who's governing them to make sure that they're following the law? The same agency that's supposed to protect our families is destroying our families. They're separating them. Now that they've been separated, my children have been in and out of psychiatric hospitals. They never did that before. They were in my home for 4 years and never was on any psychotropic meds. They were never in any kind of hospital where they're trying to commit suicide because they can't see each other. They've never been separated from each other in their life. So now I have one, the oldest one that was left behind, feels so hurt and so distraught, she tried to commit suicide. She's been in a psychiatric hospital since January and still resides there today because she can't see her siblings. This is unjust. It's unfair. It's against the law, but they're allowed to get away with it on a daily basis, and no one's doing anything about it. I've written all of the politicians, every politician. I've written them requesting assistance. Nobody responds. They give ACS this godlike power, and everyone's afraid to come forward and tell the truth or to help the people that's being violated. So in addition to writing all of the politicians, I wrote the President of the United States. No one wants to get involved. So who's policing ACS? This has to stop. Children are suffering. Lives are being taken. Fortunately, my baby wasn't able to succeed with the suicide, but she still wants to kill herself because she's being ripped away from her family. Oh, did I mention she's only 12 years old? And she wants to die. She feels like she has no reason to die because she's not allowed to see her siblings. Her sister sneaks and calls her, who's 10 years old. She's also tried to commit suicide, but they sweep that under the rug. I'm not allowed to have any information about them at all. There was a court order visitation when the children were still in these homes, and they never complied with the visitation. When my attorney went to the court to ask for the visitation, they swept it under the rug. They stopped all visitation altogether because my grandchildren would come to me and tell me that they're being violated, that they're being locked in closets, exploited on YouTube and sex videos, having the TV plug pulled out from under them. I mean, living in filthy, hazardous environments with filthy animals that's not being cared for. I have over 30,000 pictures of my children prior to being in care, in addition to pictures of them once they're in care. Like I said, coming in with flesh-eating diseases, with dirty feces in a pamper where the child hadn't even defecated. This was from a prior diaper change. She wasn't being cleaned, not being fed, missing doctor's appointments, psychiatric appointments. But all of this is condoned by the Administration for Children's Services. Why is this allowed? Why is no one doing anything about this to address these wrongful issues? Wrongful removal, violation of all the children's rights, violation of the family rights, and no one's doing anything about it. We're asking for assistance. We're asking for justice to be served for our families. All of us are here fighting for the same cause. Numbers are small, but we're going strong, and we're going to continue to fight until justice is served for our families. I have a lot more to say, but I'd like to allow some of my other family members here to be able to say what it is they have to say. And I said, and I will say, as long as there's breath in my body, I will not stop